Okay, in this video we're going to be tackling the outside paint job of this camper. Now, I'm going to tell you what I am doing, whether it's what you think you should do or is the right way or the wrong way. Um, who knows, right? I'm not a professional by any means, but this is how I'm going to do it. So, now during my initial pressure washing of this, there was a silver strip that kind of went where you see where the paint color is different here, and that pressure washing has kind of removed most of that, and that's one of the reasons I decided that let's go ahead and start from scratch. And I'm going with a plan which I'll flash up on screen of what my intentions are here, and we'll see at the end how it comes out. Right here on this side, what I've done is I've went ahead and used a heat gun and and kind of like a razor blade scraping tool to scrape off all the decals, and then I'm using a sander to sand down all that area where the decals were to get it all the glue off and get it sanded down. As you can see, if we look really close here, I still need to wash this, so I'm doing all the sanding and stuff prep first before I wash the camper to hopefully get all these dirt and these I don't want these little spots off. So the first step will be to obviously clean it. What I did back here is there was a decal right here, and I just sanded the decal off. So instead of having to use the heat gun and the scraping tool, I'm just going to try to sand it off and see how it works here. I've just got to remove this side of the decals and then the Four Winds logos, which have pretty much gone already. It's kind of faded off, and the decals are kind of peeled off over time. And then once we get this whole thing set, we're going to go to the store and buy the paint. And I'm going to get some some high-level outdoor paint, like that you would use inside of a stucco house or a vinyl house or a concrete house or wood house. This is just fiberglass, so I'm assuming that, especially once it's clean and all this is removed, that the paint should stick just fine to the side of this. But I guess we'll find out. So because this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these decals off, and then I'll show you once all that's done and we're prepped and ready to go. All right, so we have completely cleaned, got all the decals off, sanded everything down. It needed to be sanded and washed the camper, so it's as clean as it's going to be. And this is the paint we're going to be using. This is exterior paint. And it is semi-gloss. We have 3 different colors. We have a white, a black, and then like a brownish, taupish color. And you'll see what those colors were before. But this was not the highest end exterior paint, but it was not the cheapest either. It does say it's used on wood, stucco, concrete, and more. So this is like a fiberglass. So we'll see how it works. Again, this might not be the best way to do it, but this is the way I'm doing it, so I'll let you know how it comes out and be honest about it, and then I think it'll be perfectly fine. Obviously just doing some cut in with the brush, and then I'm going to roll what I can, and then probably need a couple coats, but we'll determine that once we get this done. Alright, so we have done 3 coats of the white paint on all around, and we're kind of been dodging rain all weekend, so it's kind of taken a couple days. So now we're starting to outline some of the artwork we're going to put on it. So what we did is I designed this mountain and compass that I am hooked up to a projector and projected, and then I'll be using some Sharpies to outline this, so when when I'm done outlining everything, we can come back with paint and paint over it. The north symbol is too high. So what I'm going to do is after I outline all this, I'll just drop it down. I'm going to put the north right here, but I will drop it down to trace it just to make sure I get the right font. So this is what we're doing on the back, and on the sides we're doing a different design, probably something over the cap, but I'll show you as we go. All right, it's hard to tell when you have to stay out of the light basically when you're tracing, so you can see. But if I get in the shadow here, you can see that I've traced the mountain so far. So you just trace it, and then we'll come back with a paint and paint it in. It's pretty quick to do this. All right, about 15-20 minutes later, we've got it all outlined. It was a little tedious to get all these lines, and it's going to be a pain to paint it all, but it's all outlined. So This is really step one. It's starting to drizzle out here, so I won't be able to continue with the sides probably tonight, but at least we got the back all stenciled out. All right, and we just finished up the second side, but we just projected, got the image straight and big enough to project, and then we just, let me see if I can turn it on. I can't turn it on while it's on, but just traced out everything, and we used a different size marker to trace out the different colors. So when we're ready, we'll know. Oh, there goes the projector. All right, take two. So we traced it out since the projector just went off. It doesn't look like a whole lot right now, but you can kind of see everything that's in the dark is going to be black. Everything that's lighter is going to be the brown. And hopefully it'll look a lot like the image that we projected when we get done. Okay, so we're going to show you the process of painting the outline here. And just fair warning, when you get going, because I've already kind of done the other side, it's not going to look good, and you're going to be freaking out a little bit that you're making a huge mistake. But let's bear with us. Let's check out the process, and hopefully we'll get this job or this project completed today. All right, we just took a small paintbrush and basically outlined all the marker that we traced. The thin marker is going to be another color, so we didn't trace that obviously. And I mean, if you look pretty close, this is what I'm talking about. You think what have I done? I've ruined my camper, you know. It looks like a mess. But trust me, just a couple more coats and we fill in all this on the bottom, and it's going to look a lot nicer. So the next step would be taking a bigger paintbrush, filling in what we can, and we'll roll what we can. And we'll do that a couple times, and we'll hopefully get something that looks really nice.
Really nice.
All right, now with the big brush, we got everything that we needed to get. We wouldn't be able to get with the roller. You can see it's already starting to come together a little bit better, a little bit more definition. Obviously, if you zoom in, you can see there's still some streaks and things that we'll need a second coat. But this is basically how far I've gotten on the other side. So this one I did a couple of nights ago. So now we're gonna break out the roller and roll all that what we can, and then we'll start with a second coat everywhere. Well, we've rolled 2 coats, and I think that should do it. You know, we went with the semi-gloss, I think, to try to give that sheen, which is working. Now we're gonna have to go back with a paintbrush, then cut in a second coat around the edges, but it's looking pretty good. And I'm going to tape that stripe off and repaint that as well, probably black on both sides, and then repaint these bars white. But there's both sides. And we still got a secondary layer of trees for a different color to do, but that's looking pretty good. All right, now the black, we've gotten 2 and 3 coats where needed, all done with the black, and we're doing the brown. It's just this extra layer of trees. This is just 1 coat of the brown, or tan or taupe, whatever you want to call it. But as you can see, it's going to need another coat or 2. But it's coming along. It's looking really good. All right, well, the paint job is close enough to be done to say it's done for the video. Turned out pretty damn good, if you ask me. I was gonna get the vinyl wraps, but save the money and paint. The only really thing we got left to do, I got a little bit of touch up to do on the white, and I'm gonna eventually paint the bumper and this back section right here that's gray. I'm gonna paint that black, but that's not gonna happen probably for another week or so. We're getting ready to go on a camping trip this weekend, just Amy and I, so that video will be coming pretty soon. I do also want to tape off and paint the swoosh on the side of the doors, but for the most part it is done, and extremely happy with it. So it took 2 gallons of the white paint. We have a gallon. I used half a gallon of the black, and then probably half a quart of the taupe or the brown or whatever you want to call it. So, but it looks pretty good. So hopefully, you know, it'll last. I'm sure it will. It's outdoor rated paint. It looks like it's not like scraping off or anything. We're even considering putting maybe a clear coat on top of it, but hopefully you guys can use this as an idea. Maybe do something like this to your camper if you want. So appreciate you watching. Make sure you check out our website at rdrv.net to find out our future trips, other products that we use, our videos and things like that are going to be listed there. Also like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.